Hey, all, welcome back to another video. If you're new, thank you for coming. Today I will be doing a review of a Switch game called Crystar. It's from this company called NIS. I have actually learned to respect this company quite a bit. They do a lot of good work. Crystar is a slight hack and slash RPG that is worth roughly about $40 to $50 and sells for about the same. Now, the idea behind Crystar is that you are a woman or a teenager who you and your sister end up dying somehow, and you go to purgatory. Your sister is lost. Her soul, which is a butterfly, ends up getting lost in purgatory. You get recruited by the gatekeepers, or the, for lack of a better word, police faction of purgatory, and you get to be one of their tools to help put other souls, or take out revenants who are malicious souls, and that are trying to take out everybody else and trying to regain their life. Everybody is pretty much against you, and you have to actually hack and slash your way through the game. Now, as always, we're going to be doing a little bit of good, and we're going to be doing a little bit of bad. Impressions. The first good part is I absolutely love the artwork. It is very good. The storyline is also very good. But one of the things I absolutely love is each reverend that you either, they have a special version which is red reverence. They have like a red halo above their heads. Those each have a story, and if you beat these red reverends enough times, you can actually piece together their story and get a bit of their history when they were alive. Some of these are very good, and it's amazing on some of the stories that they share. Just for instance, one girl is extremely smart, but her parents, are very abusive, and she ends up dying somehow. But you find out that her parents are the ones who killed her, and it gives each reverend a backstory. So you're not just out killing enemies, you're actually killing other souls who died either tragically or through suicide or whatnot. And it's a very interesting storyline, very interesting concept, and it's interesting that they give you a backstory to each villain, so you feel a little more sympathy towards them. So really like that. The combat system is pretty good. The enemies are decently hard. Even the weaker enemies, if they get together, they can gang up and do quite a bit of damage. And again, like I said, the story and the levels are pretty decent. The levels do look a little about the same. Unfortunately, they look like broken cities, but you can see slight differences in each of them. And the other things that you can do in the game, such as changing clothes, listening to new music from each level, is rather unique. The system itself of leveling up your weapons and all that is also unique. It's called Crystar for a reason, because after each story that you collect, you end up having to cry it out, and each tier actually enhances your crystal and helps you get better stats. So that's pretty much all for the good. Now let's get on to the bad, because there is a decent amount. I'm not going to complain too much. And I'm not bashing the game at all. I do find this highly enjoyable. I'm about 75% way through. I have not finished it, so I am looking forward to doing that. But I'm pretty sure I have a good grasp of the game dynamics, and I wanted to share my opinions of what I liked and what I disliked. One of the things I really disliked, and this is, it may seem like a small thing, but it's actually, for me, really big, is that in normal RPGs, you go through and you look at each item you buy from a shop and upgrades for weapons, and it's very clear on what they do. In truth, I did not know any of this because there was no tutorial telling you this does this, this does that. They weren't, you know, there was no healing potions. There was no, stuff that can be used as, upgrades for weapons. It wasn't very clear that you could actually do any of that. It wasn't until I got halfway through the game that I actually found out, oh, this does this. If you add these two things together, you can upgrade your stats. You can upgrade your attack. You can upgrade your defense, and none of that was made clear. None of it was, very relevant, or wasn't made very clear. So that was very frustrating. You go into a store, and unless you actually looked at what everything did, nothing was clear because you had cookies, you had soul potion, you had all this, and none of it actually told you what it does, until you actually clicked on it and then did everything. So there was no real training for this game. There was no tutorial, no nothing. So you pretty much have to figure out everything. And to be honest, I found that rather hindering because it took me a very long time to figure out, oh, I can boost my attacks, I can boost my defense, I can use this like a healing potion, I can use this as a upgrade for your defense or upgrade for your attack and all that stuff. Once you get that down, very helpful. But they don't tell you that in the very beginning, and that honestly was rather frustrating. The other thing I did not like is one of the other things that I did not like is the camera angle. The game is very fun itself, but you constantly have to turn the camera angle. It doesn't follow the enemies. So if you are at the right angle, the enemy that is hitting you completely invisible. All you know is you're taking damage. So you literally constantly have to turn it and go up and down and move it around. And when you're focused on an enemy and doing a hack and slash move, that is very, very frustrating. It can be very, very hard. And if you hear that banging, that's my cat trying to get in. It can be very distracting and can actually get you killed several times. So that was another thing I didn't like. The camera angle was a little weird. The enemies themselves, once you discover most of them, they never change. So the enemies can be very repetitive, but you can actually find yourself overwhelmed, and it can actually stop you from using your dodge button or this, which can actually also get you killed. Very frustrating, but I guess it all comes down to timing, taking, sometimes getting distance, and all of that. These are just things that I found slightly annoying. It doesn't really take away from the actual gameplay, except for maybe the camera and the motion. That I did find that quite frustrating in many cases. As for anything else, the levels all look the same. They do have a little bit of a change, but it does look like a broken highway. Usually in a pattern. You can end up going into circles, and you have to like literally go in through every nook and cranny of them to find all the hidden gems, which I'm not complaining about. Quite enjoyable. The dual team mode, where you can actually switch from one of the hunters or sheriffs or whatever you want to call them to the next, is actually really fluid and all that. So no complaints there about that. This game, is it worth it? Well, for me, yes. I enjoyed it. I know it's a decent amount of money, about $40, $50, and that is used. If you want, I think it's like 60 or 70, brand new, sealed, and it is a fun game. It is enjoyable. The storyline is very, very good. The music's not bad. Being able to play with your pet to like relieve stress, that is very, very nice. And then you know, to well, I did find like listening to music or changing the clothes to be extremely unnecessary. Um, it's a nice touch for people who want to collect everything. So, would I recommend getting it? Yes. If you're into RPGs and you like good old hack and slash, this is a good game for you. Stories are great. The fighting combo is very enjoyable, and the what it lacks is very tolerable compared to what you get. So definitely worth getting it. So guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, I try to do as many of these game reviews as possible. To be honest, I'm a little slow at beating video games or even getting to a point where I feel like I can talk about it. I, being a father and all that, it's kind of a pain. You don't get to play as many video games, but definitely rewarding on the other end. So I'm a dad gamer. What do you want? So thank you guys for sticking around and watching this video, and hopefully you guys will have a good night. Bye.